Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And this is an incredible panel that we have. Um, Without further ado, I'm going to introduce everyone on the panel. Alexandra Villaseñor is a 17-year-old climate activist from the USA and founder of Earth Uprising, a youth-led climate education to action organization with young people in over 30 countries. Alexandria first began striking in front of the UN headquarters on December 14th, 2018. Alongside Greta Thunberg and 14 other children from all around the world, she filed an international complaint with the UN Committee on the Rights of a Child, alleging that the largest polluting nations on the planet are violating the human rights of children everywhere. Welcome, Alexandria. Our next panelist is Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson is an Iraq war veteran, co-founder of Clean Capital, board director of the American Resilience Project. Before working on energy policy and on Pete Buttigieg's 2020 campaign, Kevin served as the captain in the United States Army from 2002 to 2007. Kevin has also been advising the Clean Energy Freedom Campaign. Thank you for joining us, Kevin Johnson. We have another Kevin with us today, Kevin Patel. Welcome, Kevin. Kevin Patel is an intersectional climate justice activist and the founder and executive director of One Up Action. Kevin has been working on climate from the age of 11 and is passionate about mobilizing on-the-ground action and implementation of climate solutions. Kevin is currently pursuing his undergraduate degree in political science at Loyola Marymount University. Welcome, Kevin Patel. So I'm really, really excited to have everyone here today. This is a great group of people. Before I kick it over to the questions I'm going to ask you guys, I just wanted to say I'm grateful for all of you. I work with all of you, so this is a great group. We specifically are working together for clean energy independence, clean energy freedom within the United States of America. So welcome, everyone. Really happy to have you on here. I don't want to be too doom and gloom about the climate crisis, but I do want to lay out where we are globally, some statistics for the audience, and dive into why this campaign is so important. So I'm a founding partner of Clean Energy Freedom, and given the latest International Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC report, the scientific findings on climate are pretty dire. And when we are inundated every day in the news cycle about global temperatures increasing and only having 7 years to really turn this crisis around, I think a lot of the world is feeling hopeless. There's an increase in mental health for especially young people, feeling eco-anxiety, feeling like it's all doomed and we can't turn this around. But this panel is here to tell everyone that the solutions are here. We can turn this crisis around, and don't give up hope, because I really do believe genuinely that the world will galvanize together, rally behind solutions, and implement them in time to secure all life on Earth. And that is a deep gut feeling I have. We're here today to focus on a huge solution to the climate crisis, which is renewable energy infrastructure. We're really reliant as a global economy on fossil fuels. And just a quick stat before we dive into questions. Annually, we are emitting 34 billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere per year. And a lot of that come from fossil fuels and the combustion of fossil fuels. And instead of that carbon and other greenhouse gas emissions having a way to be sequestered by Earth systems, we're destroying Earth systems. So we need to stop ecocide, but we also need to switch and transition from fossil fuels and our addiction to fossil fuels to clean energy if we want to really make it as a society and for us to have a future. So yes, it's dire. Yes, we have to act. But this panel here today is very focused on the solutions and we're here to be part of a bigger community to turn this crisis around. So I wanted to jump into the questions. Let's start with you, Alexandria, if you don't mind. So given the dire findings from the latest IPCC report and the failure of governments to limit global temperatures well below 1.5 degrees Celsius, what motivates you to keep going?
So, Julie, maybe I'll jump in there, and hopefully, if you can hear me okay. The question of kind of what keeps me going, as being a former Army officer and having served this country and having two children that are 10 and 12, is really what gives me a lot of motivation to be proactive, to be involved, to be engaged on the solution side of this crisis. One thing that folks wouldn't, I think, readily recognize is that the Department of Defense is in the United States is the one of the largest institutional consumers of energy in the world. If the Department of Defense was its own country, it would be the sixth largest consumer of energy, fossil fuels in the world. And the thing that gives me hope is the reports and the studies and the seriousness of which the Department of Defense has identified climate crisis as being a national security issue. It's in the leadership in which the Department of Defense is showing on solutions. It gives me a lot of hope in a key area of which I focus on, assisting the Department of Defense and assisting our national security interest on finding solutions going forward. So between my children and the Department of Defense are some of the key motivators that give me a lot of motivation to seek proactive solutions.
Thanks so much, Justin. Let's hop over to Kevin Patel. What gives you hope to keep going every day?
Yeah, I guess what gives me hope is my neighborhood, the place that I grew up in, my family, the next 7 generations, the young people all around the world. I think everyone who's fighting in this fight to make this planet a safer place, not just for the animals that exist, but for themselves, is what gives me hope to continuing this fight for renewable energy and for justice for communities all around the world. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Alexandra, let's kick it to you. Yes.
Hey, I do a lot of organizing, and through organizing in these climate movement, I get to meet a lot of young people. And I have to say that youth are more aware, educated, and hardworking than anyone gives us credit for. My organization, Earth Uprising, just had its elections for its campaign leaders. And the talent and expertise of all the candidates was incredible. So these are the people that motivate me and keep me going. There's also a labor shift happening, and I don't think society is very aware of it. And that's a shift to a climate and sustainability conscious workforce, which is being led by our generation. And we're going to push harder than ever for a just transition and livable planet and future. So I'm inspired by knowing that and also getting to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, you guys. So I work with all of you on this campaign, Clean Energy Freedom. And thank you to all of you for participating and being founding members and voices as well, because I know, Kevin Johnson, you especially have been really out there in media talking about this campaign and the need for clean energy. Can you talk about, Kevin Johnson, why you personally are part of this campaign and were drawn to it?
Absolutely. I think the thing that really struck me with this Clean Energy Freedom campaign that was really differentiating was the opportunity to bring national security and veteran leaders together with notable celebrities like Mark Ruffalo to come together on a topic that's solutions oriented and focused on implementing technology that is available today. Both a technology approach as well as a workforce development approach. As Alexandria noted, our youth are very motivated both to take action on policy, on advocacy, but also on the workforce front. I mean, we're talking about a transformational shift and opportunity for career building and wealth creation around the country and around the world. That the solutions aren't just to solve a crisis, but there are also opportunities to create tremendous opportunities for generations to come behind us. And I think the Clean Energy Freedom Campaign is very unique in our approach to really be solutions focused, right? To be forward focused on ways to engage folks and to bring folks in to the opportunities at hand. And I'm very, very appreciative of Mark Ruffalo and the other celebrity leaders that are out there really helping to lend their platform to veterans like myself and national security leaders like myself and youth leaders like we have here on this panel to elevate those voices to talk about the solutions that are at hand. And it's very much a privilege to be engaged with the team here.
Thanks, Kevin. Let's hop over to you, Kevin Patel. I love that we have two Kevins on this panel. What motivates you to be part of this campaign, Kevin? What speaks to you about this?
Yeah, what motivates me, again, it's the young people who see that this is an issue that they are leading on today, not just tomorrow, right? That they're implementing the solutions today and not just for tomorrow. And so I think that what is the driving factor of what keeps me motivated to keep going and for fighting for renewable energy. The bottom line is, fossil fuels are very not just bad for both people, but for our planet. And so making sure that our generation can really transition and be the leading factor today is what kind of is like, how can we bring in more young people and have them lead on this effort for renewable energy and for other solutions as well. So that's what keeps me going.